America's public enemy number one in the United States is drug abuse. In order to fight and defeat this enemy, it is necessary to wage a new all-out offensive. I have asked the Congress to provide the legislative authority and the funds to fuel this kind of an offensive.
After this address, President Nixon and the U.S. government did go on the offensive to try and stop the war on drugs. They did this by spending over $1 trillion trying to prevent drug use and importation in America. But what do we have to show? Since 1971, when the United States of America started to make a real effort on policy change and cracking down on the importation and use of illegal drugs, the biggest change that can be seen directly attributed to this is the increase of incarceration by over 400%. This makes the United States the most highly incarcerated country in the entire world, with over 30% of these incarcerations due to the use of illegal drugs or other drug-related crimes. One of the biggest issues with this is the unproportional arrest rates by race or social group. Studies show that minorities are up to 6 times more likely to receive a maximum sentence than their white counterpart who committed the exact same crime. This is a problem that has existed since the drug war first started and cannot be fixed without major reform in the judicial system. This is another reason for the U.S.'s inflated incarceration rates. Something we are slowly starting to see today is the decriminalization of drugs in certain states or cities around the U.S. This is because officials are realizing that some of these nonviolent crimes are being too harshly punished, and the United States cannot take any more crowding in their prison system. The overcrowded prison system in the U.S. has proven that because of the conditions people are forced to live in and the lack of help that they receive, most drug offenders either find themselves back in prison or dead from an overdose within just a few weeks of them being released.
If somebody has a drug problem, and far too many do, you got an illness. Treat it as an illness, not as a criminal problem.
Addiction needs to be, it's a lifetime challenge, and you need to have a recovering kind of philosophy about this, and people need to stay together in this regard. And look, I have some personal experience in this just as a dad, and it is the most heartbreaking thing in the world to have to go through.
My husband Frank and I buried a child to drug addiction. So, we must invest more in the treatment of drugs.
It is time our country realizes all the mistakes that it has made in its past trying to fight the drug war, and finally offers out a reaching hand and helps the people in need instead of punishing them.